Picture this. You're standing on the terrace of a breathtaking penthouse, the city lights twinkling below like a sea of stars. The cool night air brushes past as you gaze out over the skyline, feeling on top of the world. But what truly sets this moment apart isn't just the view or the luxury, it's how you got here. Imagine for a moment that you bought this penthouse not with traditional money, but with Pi Coin, digital currency you mined right from your phone while you went about your daily life. No complicated mining rigs, no massive energy bills, just a simple app, quietly building your future in the background. This isn't a scene from a science fiction movie, this is the bold vision that Pi Network and its growing community are working to make a reality. A world where digital currency and real estate intersect seamlessly, transforming how we think about value, ownership, and opportunity. Imagine a world where homes, salaries, and everyday services are all exchanged in Pi, not dollars or any other fiat currency. Picture paying your rent, your groceries, or even your next vacation with Pi. In this new economy, Pi isn't just a speculative asset, it's the lifeblood of daily transactions, connecting people across borders and backgrounds. The global consensus value, $314,159 per Pi, represents more than just a number. It's a symbol of the community's collective belief in the power and potential of Pi. It's a value set not by a single authority, but by the agreement and trust of millions of pioneers around the world. At that value, $1 million home is just over 3 Pi. Suddenly, the dream of owning a luxury property isn't reserved for the ultra-wealthy. It's within reach for anyone who believed early, participated, and helped build the Pi ecosystem. But the real revolution goes deeper. Imagine a closed-loop economy where Pi circulates freely. Architects, builders, real estate agents, and homeowners all transacting in Pi. Every step of the process, from blueprints to keys in hand, powered by a digital currency that knows no borders. To make this vision a reality, we must shift our mindset. Pi must be seen as a true currency, not just an asset to be converted into cash. It's about building trust, creating real-world use cases, and encouraging businesses and individuals to accept and use Pi in their daily lives. The dream of a Pi-powered penthouse isn't just about luxury, it's about building a new kind of economy, one transaction at a time. Every time you use Pi, you help lay the foundation for a future where opportunity is open to all and where the skyline is just the beginning. The $314,159 GCV isn't a market price. It's a social contract among pioneers. Instead of being set by outside investors or dictated by global exchanges, this value is something the Pi community has chosen together. It's a bold statement of trust and unity, reflecting the collective belief in the future of Pi. When you see this number, think of it as a handshake between thousands of people, all agreeing to treat Pi as something valuable, not just a speculative asset. It's a collective agreement to honor that value in trades within the Pi ecosystem. Every time someone uses Pi at this value, they're reinforcing the contract, making it stronger and more real. This isn't just about numbers on a screen, it's about building a new kind of economy, one where value is determined by the people who use it, not by distant markets or speculators. Like a new country's currency, its strength comes from internal use, not external validation. When a nation launches its own money, it doesn't matter what outsiders think at first. What matters is that its citizens trust and use it for their daily lives. The same is true for Pi. Its real power comes from the community's willingness to use it for real goods and services. When someone sells a car or a house for Pi at GCV, they're voting for this value. These aren't just transactions, they're acts of faith in the system. Each deal is a signal to others that Pi can be trusted, that it's more than just an experiment. It's a way to show the world that a community-driven currency can work for life's biggest purchases. Real estate is the ultimate test. If homes trade for Pi at GCV, the concept is proven. Buying or selling a home is a major decision, and if people are willing to do it with Pi, it means they truly believe in its value. It's a powerful demonstration that Pi isn't just for small online purchases, but can be used for the most important transactions in life. But it only works if both buyer and seller believe in Pi's value for future needs. Trust is the foundation. Without it, the system falls apart. Both sides have to feel confident that Pi will hold its value, that it will be useful tomorrow and years from now. This shared belief is what gives Pi its strength and staying power. The GCV isn't a cash-out bridge, it's the foundation of a new system. It's not about getting rich quick or finding an exit. It's about building something lasting, a new way to exchange value that's owned and operated by its users. Just like a strong foundation supports a house, the GCV supports the entire Pi ecosystem. The real question: what can you do with your Pi? The answer depends on the community's creativity and commitment. As more people accept Pi for goods and services, its usefulness grows. Imagine a world where you can pay for groceries, buy a car, or even invest in your future, all with Pi. That's the vision behind the $314,159 GCV, a currency powered by people for people with real-world impact. Here's the challenge. Buyers offer Pi at GCV, but sellers need dollars for mortgages and taxes. Sellers see Pi as risky, not liquid, so deals fall apart or Pi is deeply discounted. This undermines the GCV and keeps Pi from being used for big purchases like real estate. The cycle? If sellers don't accept Pi at GCV, it can't be used for major transactions. The solution? Shift focus from cashing out to what Pi can buy within the ecosystem. If developers, governments, and banks accept Pi, the need for fiat disappears. Building this acceptance is the real work. Only then can Pi bridge the gap to the traditional market. Every time someone cashes out Pi for fiat, value leaks from the ecosystem. Imagine the Pi economy as a dome. Value circulates inside, strengthening the system. Cashing out is like a slow leak, weakening the whole structure. GCV only works if both buyer and seller stay in the ecosystem and use Pi for real needs. If sellers reinvest Pi, buying homes, paying for services, the value stays and grows. The temptation to cash out is real, but true wealth is in Pi's purchasing power, not its dollar rate. Cashing out is a short-term win, long-term loss. The foundation of GCV is collective strength, not individual liquidity. True believers don't exit, they build. For Pi to truly succeed, it must become a seamless part of our everyday lives, something as ordinary as the cash or cards we use now. Imagine walking into your neighborhood grocery store and paying for your weekly groceries with Pi, or settling your monthly rent with just a few taps on your phone. Picture yourself grabbing a morning coffee at your favorite cafe, and instead of reaching for your wallet, you simply use Pi to pay. This is the kind of integration that will make Pi indispensable, not just a digital asset sitting in a wallet, but a currency that moves with us through every aspect of daily life. The real transformation happens when Pi is used for salaries, for paying employees, and for making everyday purchases, big and small. When people start to rely on Pi to receive their income and to spend it on the things they need, it becomes more than just a speculative investment. It becomes a living, breathing part of the economy. The true value of Pi will emerge when it is the default choice for daily transactions, not just a token to be traded or held in hopes of future gains. Imagine a world where a contractor pays their workers in Pi, those workers then use Pi to pay for their children's school tuition, and families buy homes using Pi as the medium of exchange. Digital payments at real estate offices become routine, and the entire chain of value flows through Pi. In this kind of utility-driven economy, the question shifts from what's Pi worth on the market today to what can I actually do with my Pi? The focus moves away from price speculation and toward real-world usefulness. This kind of stability and trust in Pi comes not from hype or market swings, but from the steady exchange of real goods and services. When people can use Pi to buy groceries, pay for services, or support local businesses, its value is anchored in the real economy. The more Pi is used in genuine transactions, the less it is affected by speculation, and the more stable and reliable it becomes for everyone. The path forward is clear. We need more businesses, more marketplaces, and more opportunities for people to use Pi in their daily lives. It's about building an ecosystem where Pi is accepted everywhere, from small shops to large enterprises, from local markets to global platforms. This is where entrepreneurs and innovators come in. The future of Pi depends on those who see opportunity in building new tools, services, and marketplaces, not just those looking to cash out quickly. Developers, business owners, and creators must work together to create solutions that make Pi more useful and accessible for everyone. The more places there are to spend Pi, the more valuable it becomes to the entire community. Every new business that accepts Pi, every new tool that makes transactions easier, adds another layer of strength to the Pi economy. This is a long-term project, one that grows with each transaction, each new partnership, and each person who chooses to use Pi in their daily life. The journey to a thriving Pi economy happens one transaction, one business, and one community at a time. With every step forward, Pi moves closer to becoming a true currency for the world. Real estate is the ultimate test for Pi. It's high value, tangible, and essential. If million-dollar properties trade in Pi at GCV, the currency is legitimized. Imagine developers raising capital, paying teams, and selling homes, all in Pi. Every step, from land purchase to final sale, happens within the Pi ecosystem. This creates a self-reinforcing cycle. Investors, workers, and homeowners all transact in Pi. The value stays, circulates, and compounds, strengthening the foundation. Real estate isn't just a use case, it's the proof that Pi can handle life's biggest transactions. If this works, every other industry can follow. Not everyone can buy a whole building, but with Pi, you could own a fraction. Fractional ownership lets you buy a small stake in high-value properties for a fraction of a Pi. Properties are tokenized, divided into digital shares on the Pi blockchain. You can own pieces of buildings worldwide, earning rental income in Pi. For investors, it's diversification and access. For owners, it's liquidity. Tokenized real estate democratizes investment and makes trading instant. The blockchain records every transaction, no need for complex paperwork. This isn't just new investing, it's a fundamental shift in property ownership. Imagine using Pi to fund and build new developments, crowdfunding on a global scale. Pioneers pool Pi into a decentralized fund, powering the entire project. Land, architects, and construction are all paid in Pi, keeping value in the ecosystem. Materials and salaries circulate Pi, bringing more people into the network. Investors see their Pi grow as properties are built and sold. DeFi concepts like using land as collateral or tokenizing rental income add flexibility. This model empowers communities to build with their own wealth, bypassing traditional banks. It's building the future with the currency of the future. The real close? When the community values utility over cashing out. GCV isn't magic, it's built and proven by internal use. Pi's success is measured by how many businesses, salaries, and services run on it. When you can buy anything with Pi, the need for fiat fades. Every pioneer who spends, earns, or builds with Pi strengthens the foundation. The hard work is choosing participation over speculation. Buying a house with Pi is the ultimate statement of faith in the system. The value isn't in the price, it's in the purpose. Let's go build it.